Yah wants the world to know who He is and is willing to display His power throughout the earth to give them that understanding. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 5 of Pesach week. Today we conclude with the last half of Eliyahu HaNavi, Elijah the prophet's prayer. Yesterday we finished up with the idea that Yahweh is the Elohim of Am Israel, and if you are born again, you are Israel. Let me clarify by saying you do not replace anyone else as a part of Am Israel. You are joined to them and with them and must learn to get along as the family of Elohim. Let me clarify also one last point, and that is that everything that is being demonstrated in the earth and will be demonstrated in the earth to reveal the power of Elohim is to, in fact, give credence and identity to Him, that He alone is the creator of all things, and that He must be honored as such. It's not enough that you and I, who may be a part of the Hebraic Roots movement, that we know that the name Yud-He-Vav-He, ever how we pronounce that, is His name. It's not enough that you and I would acknowledge Him as the covenant giver to Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but it's that the world would know Him. The entire world will understand who He is. Let's go a step further. After this remark, Eliyahu prays, Father, let them know that I am your servant. That is, that what I am doing, how I am acting, building this altar, restoring with 12 stones the identity of the house of Israel, the house of Yehudah, together in reconciliation, that I do this at your bidding, that I call for this confrontation at your bidding, that I have laid this offering, this olah, on top and not set fire to it, but will now ask you to send fire at your bidding, that the water that has been poured over this offering multiple times and now fills a ditch around its circumference, I do this at your bidding, that me proclaiming that you are the one true Elohim of all the earth, and in particular of Am Israel. Again, I do this at your bidding. Let these people know I am your servant. That is to differentiate Himself from all of those who are either worshiping the sun or the Queen of Heaven, the moon. Let me just say this, the world needs to know who you are. When Laura and I first started House of David many years ago, almost 20 years ago now, we were given some advice of staying under the radar. Don't let anyone really know who you are. The government is Big Brother and they're out to get you. And a long list of conspiracy theories were offered to us about how dangerous it would be for us to follow this path. We've since had to come out of hiding. Yah is not looking for a people who cower in caves and in bunkers. He's looking for a people who will walk boldly in His power and the authority of His name and do exploits to glorify Him, to pronounce the name of Yud-He-Vav-He in the earth, that the world may know who He is. We need to be known as the servants of the Most High. Also, that requires then that you and I act in such a way that we are servants, that we're not rogue servants, running off on our own tangents, doing our own thing, and then saying, well, Yah told me to. No, let's get into the Word. Let's walk according to what the Torah require of us. Let's follow the admonition of the prophets. Let's exemplify the heart and the character of Yeshua the Messiah, and let's do it correctly. That means time, prayer, and study. That means ceasing to be our own self and walking in the identity of Messiah. Let's agree with Yochanan the Immerser, John the Baptist, who said, I must decrease that He may increase. It's a tall order to be the servant of the Most High, but you and I are up to the challenge. And if we will give our heart to it, Yah Himself will anoint us to be effective in doing so. Now, when we say, I am obeying you, let them know that I am your servant and that I am obeying you. Many of your friends and families, when you first started down this path, may have thought they have lost their mind. You have been deceived. You're in error. You have become part of a cult somewhere. They do not understand then, perhaps they do not understand now. But Yah will vindicate you, validate you, and grant to you credibility. That is when we walk uprightly, when we do what is right, and then His power, His character, His honor, His authority, that is His name, is revealed to be upon us. Let's continue with what Eliyahu prayed. He said, answer me, O Yahweh. Answer me and let this people know that you are Yahweh Elohim. The word answer here is the word anah, A-N-A-H, by transliteration, anah. And it basically means to reply as a witness, to signify, to give an answer. What I hear him praying is, Father, will you please stand up as a credible, verifying, validating witness of me, that what I am doing is in accordance to your heart and your will, that I'm telling the truth. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you and I could share the insights and the understandings that we've gained, and people look at us and say, you know, I believe you're right. Let me go back and let me study that again. Instead of that raised eyebrow and that we often get. Maybe even as I get sometimes, people just kind of stare down at the floor and close their eyes, and you can see them trying not to shake their head in a negative fashion. Yah will give us credible witness. He will indeed stand up and witness to the fact that we are His children. How is He going to do that? When is He going to do that? Be faithful. Walk uprightly. Do what He gives you to do as He gives it to you to do. And Yah will defend you. He will be your collaborating witness and verify that you are in fact working at His hand. He said, answer me. Give an answer. Don't let my prayer fall on deaf ears. Let these people know who you are. Then he prayed something extremely important. Turn their hearts back to you again. As much as I would like to get out my spiritual toolbox and preach a sermon and give a teaching and cause someone to be a different person and to change, I can't do that. Now, Yah may be using my words. He may be using my compassion. He may use His love shed abroad upon my heart for others. But it is He, by His Ruach and the power of His word, He is the one who does the work. Yeshua often included the remark and the refrain, let he who has ears to hear what the Ruach is saying, let him hear. People have to have a willing heart. And while I can't change anyone's heart any more than you can, what we can do is ask that the Father would grant the power to make teshuvah, to return. I have here in my bookcase somewhere, here it is, a book entitled The Art of Teshuvah. It's a compilation of the works and the teachings of Rabbi Avraham Yitzhak HaKohen Cook, Rav Cook. It's a good book to have in your library. But in this book, the revelation came to me that Teshuvah is not just repenting and saying, I'm sorry. It is a lifestyle. It is an ongoing act of turning your heart, your motivation, your meditation toward the Most High and walking it out. And that you and I can make teshuvah only when He grants us the ability to do so. We can't just mutter mere words of a familiar prayer and go on our way as if nothing ever happened. Yah wants to change us. May we be changed. Yah, turn our nation's hearts back to you again. Shabbat Shalom. We'll see you again next week.